My ugly boyfriend begged me to date him, and I found out he was bragging about bagging the hottest girl. I took myself back. Keith was in my friend group through a mutual friend named Lana. He wasn't someone I would have noticed on my own. Average looking, short, a little heavy. None of that bothered me because I have never been the kind of person who only dates people based on how they look. What got my attention was how hard he tried. Keith asked me out 4 times over 3 months. The first time I said no because I didn't know him well enough. The second time I said no because I was busy with work. The third time I said not right now. The fourth time he showed up at a group hangout with flowers. Not a big bouquet, just a small bunch of daisies wrapped in paper. He said he just wanted one chance, and that if I didn't feel anything after one date, he would never ask again. Lana thought it was sweet. My other friend Zola told me to give him a shot because he seemed genuine. I said yes. The first date was actually nice. He took me to a quiet restaurant. He asked me questions about my job and my family and what I like to do on weekends. He listened. He didn't try to touch me or make any moves. He walked me to my car and said thank you for giving me a chance. I thought okay, maybe this could work. We dated for 2 months. During those 2 months, Keith was what I thought a good boyfriend looked like. He texted me good morning every day. He remembered small things I said. He met my mom and was polite. He brought her a candle because I mentioned she liked them. My mom told me he seemed like a good one. My friends kept asking me about it though. Not in a mean way, but in a way that told me they didn't understand. Zola asked me once what I saw in him. I told her he treated me well and that was enough. My coworker Nessa asked me if I was sure about him. I told her I didn't have a type. I defended him constantly. I told people that looks don't matter, and that character is what counts, and that Keith had more character than any guy I'd dated before. I believed it. Then Lana called me on a Wednesday night and told me something that made my whole body go cold. She had been hanging out with a group that included Keith's best friend Sully. Sully got drunk and started talking about Keith. He said Keith had a bet going with his boys about me. Not a money bet, but a challenge. Sully said Keith had been telling his friends for months that he was going to bag the hottest girl in the group and prove that any guy could pull someone like me if he played it right. He told them he had a strategy. He said he figured out that I responded to persistence and vulnerability, so he kept asking me out and made himself look harmless. The flowers were planned. The listening was planned. Remembering what I said was planned. He called it his playbook and his friends thought it was hilarious. Sully told Lana that Keith's next step was to sleep with me and then show his friends proof that he did it. That was the goal the whole time. Not a relationship, not getting to know me, just getting me into bed so he could prove to a group of guys that he conquered the pretty girl. I sat with that information for 1 day. I didn't cry. I was too angry to cry. I called Keith the next evening and told him to come over. He showed up smiling like always. I let him sit down. I told him Sully talked. His face dropped. He immediately said Sully was exaggerating and that guys just talk like that and it didn't mean anything. I asked him if he had told his friends he had a playbook for dating me. He said it was a joke. I asked him if the flowers were part of the strategy. He said no. I asked him if remembering things I told him was something he did because he cared, or because it was step 3 in his plan. He didn't answer. I told him I defended him to every single person who asked me why I was with him. I told him my coworkers asked, and my friends asked, and even strangers looked confused. And every single time I said it was because he was a good person. I told him I went to bat for him over and over because I thought he was different from every guy who only cared about how I looked. And the whole time he was worse than all of them, because at least the guys who hit on me at bars were honest about what they wanted. Keith pretended to be kind so he could use me as a trophy. I told him we were done. He sat there for a minute staring at the floor. Then he looked up and said, "You're making a mistake." I